Today, I'll be telling you about a popular American science fiction action movie called The Matrix. Spoiler alert, I'll be discussing some key plot points, so be careful if you haven't seen it yet. The story takes place in the year 1999 and focuses on a computer programmer named Thomas Anderson who works for a well-known software company. Thomas also leads a double life as a hacker, known in the underground world as Neo. Throughout his life, Neo has experienced strange and vivid visions related to something called the Matrix, but he has never been able to fully understand them. One day, while working on his computer, Neo receives a mysterious message that alludes to his dreams and urges him to follow the White Rabbit. Shortly after, a group of partygoers show up at Neo's door, looking to buy illegal goods from him. They then invite Neo to a wild party, which sets off a chain of events that changes Neo's life forever. Initially, Neo turns down an offer, but later changes his mind after seeing a tattoo of a white rabbit on one of the girls. The group goes to a rave bar, where Neo is approached by a woman named Trinity. She reveals that she was the one who sent him a text message about the White Rabbit and the Matrix. When Neo asks for an explanation, Trinity warns him that his life is in danger and he is being watched. After this strange encounter, Neo returns home confused. The day after his encounter with Trinity, Neo discovers a package in his cubicle at work. The package contains a phone that immediately starts ringing. The person on the other end introduces himself as Morpheus and tells Neo that he is in danger. Morpheus instructs Neo to look up at the elevator, where he sees 3 agents, led by Mr. Smith, looking in his direction. A woman in the office points towards Neo's cubicle, indicating that they have found him. Morpheus tries to help Neo escape from the building, but Neo is so confused by the situation that he allows himself to be arrested by the agents. In the following scene, Neo is taken to an interrogation room where he is informed that he has violated every cyber law in the country. Agent Smith informs him that he is facing a life sentence in prison, but there is a way out. If Neo helps the agents capture Morpheus, the man who contacted him earlier, he can walk away a free man. Smith describes Morpheus as the most dangerous terrorist alive. However, Neo refuses to cooperate and requests to speak with his lawyer. Smith informs him that there is no point in calling a lawyer if he cannot speak. Suddenly, Neo's lips inexplicably fuse together, and the agents violently slam him onto the table. They implant a small, shrimp-like device into his stomach through his navel. The next moment, Neo wakes up in his room drenched in sweat and wonders if it was all just a terrifying nightmare. Then, Morpheus calls and invites him to meet at Adam's Bridge, promising to answer all of Neo's questions. Eventually, Neo agrees and heads to the location. Trinity and 2 others pick him up in a car, and one of them orders him to take off his shirt at gunpoint. Though confused, Neo complies. To his surprise, Trinity reveals and removes the device that the agents had implanted in his body. It appears that Neo's experiences were not merely a dream. Trinity leads Neo to an abandoned building where he meets Morpheus. Morpheus tells Neo that the answers he has been searching for cannot be easily explained but must be experienced. However, Morpheus warns that once Neo knows the truth, he can never go back. Neo is then presented with a choice between a blue and a red pill. The blue pill will allow him to return to his old life with no memory of his encounter with Morpheus, Trinity, and others. The red pill, on the other hand, will keep him in the fantastical world of Wonderland, and Morpheus will show him how deep the rabbit hole goes. After contemplating for a short while, Neo selects the red pill, indicating his desire to uncover the truth. Consequently, he is fastened to a chair and connected to some wires. To his astonishment, he observes a shattered mirror mend itself seamlessly. Confused and fascinated, he touches the surface, and the silver substance starts to spread over his skin. Meanwhile, Morpheus's team tries to detect something on the screens. Eventually, the silver liquid engulfs Neo entirely, and he loses consciousness. Upon regaining consciousness, Neo finds himself in a pink embryonic pod, completely hairless and without any clothing. Numerous black tubes are attached all over his body, making him resemble a laboratory animal. Eventually, Neo emerges from the pod and is stunned to discover that he is encompassed by countless towers of pods containing humans. A hovering robot nurse detects his movement and instantly discards him into the gutter. As he is about to sink into the filth, a hovercraft comes into view, and he is rescued and brought aboard the ship's cargo hold. To his relief, the hovercraft belongs to Morpheus, and he reunites with him and his crew, who are now attired in simple, hand-knit clothing. As Neo begins to slip out of consciousness, Morpheus utters the phrase, "Welcome to the real world." Neo's muscles have weakened due to what appears to be a lifetime spent in a coma, and he also experiences pain in his eyes as a result of never using them before. Thus, Morpheus and his crew spend the following weeks attending to Neo's physical needs. Finally, Neo regains consciousness one day, fully dressed and with hair growing on his head. Morpheus emerges and tells him that they are presently inside his vessel, the Nebuchadnezzar. In addition, it's revealed that the current year is actually 2199, not 1999 as Neo had thought. Morpheus then gives Neo a tour of their ship and introduces him to the crew members, including APOC, Cypher, Mouse, and Brothers Tank and Dozer. Later on, the crew immobilizes Neo in a chair and inserts a long probe into the back of his skull. In the next moment, Neo finds himself in a world entirely made of white, accompanied by Morpheus. He notices that he now has a head full of hair and no longer has sockets covering his body. Morpheus explains that the white space is a computer program and they can manipulate it to become anything they desire. As Neo and Morpheus sit in the virtual reality chairs, they realize that everything around them, including the TV, is just a computer-generated simulation. Morpheus then shows Neo footage of a modern city, which Neo believed to be real. Morpheus explains that this world is actually a neural, interactive simulation called the Matrix. Neo is then introduced to the actual real world, which is depicted as a dark and desolate wasteland with a shrouded sky. Morpheus reveals that at the end of the 20th century, a war broke out between humans and artificial intelligence, AI, machines. At that time, the AI machines were powered by solar energy, so humans tried to defeat them by blotting out the sky. However, the machines outsmarted the humans, enslaved them, and used them as a primary power source for the world. The AI machines began using the 120 volts of electricity and 25,000 BTUs of body heat generated by the human body to power themselves. As the demand for energy increased, the machines started farming humans in a vast field, connecting them to power outlets and trapping them in pods. The world Neo had believed to be real was actually a computer-generated simulation created to keep humans under control and use them as a power source. Morpheus and his crew are the only known free humans, along with the citizens of Zion, the last remaining human city hidden deep beneath the ground near the Earth's core. Morpheus and his team regularly hack into the Matrix using telephones to free more humans from enslavement. The Matrix is controlled by machine programs, and the agents that Neo encountered earlier are examples of such programs that can take control of any human in the Matrix under their jurisdiction. In the real world, there are autonomous machines known as the Sentinels that patrol the sewers and passageways of the abandoned human cities, searching for any humans who may have woken up from the Matrix. Neo is initially overwhelmed by this revelation, and he passes out. Later, with the help of computer simulation, he is able to learn a series of martial arts techniques including taekwondo, drunken boxing, and kung fu in a matter of hours. After impressing Morpheus with his newfound skills, Neo is reminded of a prophecy made by someone named the Oracle, which foretells that he will liberate humankind from machine slavery. He is also taught how to free his mind and perform incredible feats like jumping from one building to another within the Matrix. However, he is warned that if he dies inside the Matrix, he will die in the real world as well. During their stay in the Matrix, the crew manages to hide from a Sentinel by disabling their power and taking refuge in the vast sewer system. The next day, Morpheus, Trinity, APOC, Switch, Mouse, Cypher, and Neo venture into the Matrix to meet the Oracle. Cypher has made a deal with Agent Smith, one of the sentient programs in the Matrix, to be reinserted back into the virtual world in exchange for betraying Morpheus and the rest of the crew. In the ensuing firefight, APOC and Switch are killed, and Cypher fatally wounds Tank before being taken down himself. Morpheus, Neo, and Trinity are able to escape, but not before Neo discovers his true potential as the one possessing the power to manipulate the Matrix at will. With this newfound ability, Neo is able to defeat Agent Smith and escape the Matrix with Morpheus and Trinity. Agent Smith tortures Morpheus to try to get him to reveal the access codes to Zion's mainframe computer, but Morpheus resists. Meanwhile, Neo discovers that he has the ability to manipulate the Matrix and is able to defeat Agent Smith in a fight. They are attacked by Agent Smith, who has now become extremely powerful and can replicate himself indefinitely. Neo fights him one-on-one while the others escape. Manages to escape from Smith by entering a door that leads to a room full of guns. He grabs a bunch of them and exits the room, facing a group of agents waiting for him. Suddenly, Trinity realizes that she has the power to revive Neo using her love for him. With tears in her eyes, she kisses him, and her love brings Neo back to life. He rises, his wounds miraculously healed, and realizes that he is the one who can defeat the Matrix. Neo sees the Matrix as it really is, a world of code, and gains ultimate power over it. He confronts Agent Smith and defeats him, destroying him completely. The Sentinels at the ship also retreat as Neo's power over the Matrix extends to the real world. The film ends with Neo flying into the Matrix, a superhero who will continue to fight for humanity's freedom. In summary, The Matrix. Subscribe to our channel today and join the conversation.